Frances one day sitting here and she goes, Mom, when you're done with the business, can I have it? I'm like,
Oh, oh
oh,
my
yes,
gosh.
Frances, if you're ready for it, it might be your turn.
Oh. Well, welcome to We'll Sleep When We're Dead.
Hello.
Yay.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Hello. We are so excited to have a brand new guest and friend of the pod. Katie Poehling Seymour is on today, which we're so excited about. Welcome, welcome,
Yay.
welcome. As just by means of a short little intro, Katie, you have quite the bio. I was reading through this and I am like so incredibly impressed. So I may not read all of it, but I'm going to try to pull out the things that I was like, holy moly. I'm so incredibly impressed. But Katie represents the 5th generation of the Poehling family leadership at a 128-year-old company, which is incredible, called First Supply.
Yes.
It has been so fun looking into First Supply and like understanding what you guys do. I'm like, I want to ask you all the questions about it because we're both so impressed by it. But you are the CEO there now. First Supply, just as a company, has been recognized as a top workplace in 2025, received 2 top workplace culture excellence awards for employee well-being and as a women-led company. Woohoo, we love that.
Yay.
Absolutely incredible. I know you've served tons of different industry leadership roles. And I think one of the things I'm like so interested is like how it feels like you're probably in a male-dominated industry. I don't know that to be true, but I'm super curious to hear a little bit about that. But I know you've been recognized as the Biz Times Wisconsin 275 most influential business leaders, Family Business Magazine 2024 CEO to watch, EY Entrepreneur of the Year finalist, and really the list goes on. But we're so thrilled to have you here, and I think the one title that's probably not necessarily on this resume specifically, but is the thing that intrigues us the most, is that you are also a mom. So we are so excited to hear kind of about the intersection of those two things, and just so thrilled to have you on the podcast. So welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here.
Amazing.
And I have to say, not only a mom, but a mom of 3 girls like me, which I love so much. I was joking with Lucy as we were starting this and like researching you. And I was like, I'm almost going to just be a listener because I'm so, as you said you listen to our podcast, I'm the stay-at-home mom version. I was like, our cross sections are I love Notre Dame by marriage, and I have 3 girls. I love that she has 3 girls.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh my
it's so
gosh.
fun.
That's amazing. And what are the ages of your kids? Can you remind us?
So Frances is 6 and the twins are 4, almost 5. So we lived in a world where we had 3 girls under 2 for longer than it's appropriate, we say.
And twins. I feel like twins is just like a whole new world that I couldn't even begin to wrap my head around. So
It was wild. It was really wild. And it still is wild. It really is. But it's been fun. I mean, they give us a run for our money. We look at them in the moment, we knew it was happening, but we look back and like 2 2-year-olds was serious business. We felt every moment of 2 2-year-olds.
Yeah.
4, so it's good.
I don't want to
Almost
like already sabotage the conversation, just talk about your kids because we want to talk so much about your career. But can I just ask you a quick question about
Of course.
twins?
Yes.
I feel like I joke about like people who are like, oh, I would just rather have twins 2 and done. But yours is the opposite.
Yes.
Only having 1 and then going from knowing 1 and then going to 2. Was it much like, how was that transition? Because that's almost like kids again for the first time, right? Because I know
We debated this for like years. We couldn't decide. We're like, would it have been better to have them first or Frances first? Like, we literally couldn't decide because we were like going back and forth about the pluses and minuses, me and my husband, Jeff. And we decided that it really was better to have the twins first because we wouldn't have known any different. And then Frances would have just been like, this is great. The problem was the twins had each other and France was kind of like the odd man out. So she was just, whereas the twins would have been like off on their own planet because they sort of are just off on their own planet.
Right.
And whereas like she was sort of like, wait, what about me over here? Like, I'm Francie, like, don't forget about me. And so like she sort of, it would have been better to have them and then her. We decided like if you had to pick, but
right. But people always debate that, right? When they talk about twins. And so it's interesting that your scenario is a different one.
The wildest thing for us about twins is that ours are very, very identical. Like very, very identical to the point where like there are still some days they walk up to me and I'm like, hi, you. But they're getting older. That their like little personalities like just shine through a little bit more, and they're like choosing their hairstyles a little bit different. They're more vocal about their outfits. But I mean, I look back at their baby pictures and I'm like, oh my gosh, thank goodness I had like a bit of a dressing convention for them because we already had all the girl clothes. So I was, we're not going to go get something totally different. We painted their toenails. When I had to cut up their hospital braces, we're like, what are we going to do? How are we going to be sure?
Oh my gosh.
So I painted one girl's toenails red and one girl's toenails pink. And we were diligent about that toenail polish. I mean, it was on and it was repainted, which worked really well until they started moving around a lot and like they wouldn't sit still for the toenail polish.
My gosh.
Okay, so I was going to ask you for a random mom hack, but you just said it. That's like the best mom hack. Like I've never heard of that, and that is amazing.
Do you feel like their personalities, like, are they going to trick you one day? I just feel like that would be like the ultimate twin.
Yeah, they totally will. They went through this phase, and I don't know if they did it intentionally because I think they were still too little, but they also have shoes. Like they picked their shoes, like one wears purple shoes, one wears pink shoes, and like they never change. They never vary, except they went through this like 2-week thing where they wore one of each color.
No.
I don't know if they just did it like for fun. Because I don't, like I said, they were too little. I don't think they were meant to trick us, but they did.
Oh my gosh. That's literally amazing.
So anyway, I could go on and on about twins.
It's amazing.
They're like a whole thing.
Oh my gosh. Well, we want to get to kind of like where kids came in your journey. As a jumping off point, like you have had, gosh, such an amazing career, and holy cow, CEO at this stage is amazing. I'm just so curious kind of like what it's looked like. What's the trajectory been? What were some of the big highlights?
So I'll kind of back up to, I didn't always know that this was my path, being a family business. My father was 4th generation, and as he was sort of crafting what the next generations would look like, succession planning was a passion of his, and he was very, very good at it, is very good at it. He's still active in our business. He's our chairman emeritus, comes to all of our board meetings, is very engaged, and is a phenomenal mentor to me. His succession planning, truly we've been benefited by his passion for it because he created this path for us. And part of that was he wanted us to work outside the business for 5 years so that served us 2 ways. We had a different boss. We brought back ideas to the business if we ended up coming back and whole new ways of thinking about things, doing things. If we only ever had our family leading the business, we'd be doing the same things the same way forever. And we came back because we wanted to. We were out doing our own thing. We made our own way in the world, and we came back because it was our choice to come back because it was what we wanted to do. Yeah. So I was working in consulting, doing super fun stuff. I went to law school at Notre Dame and was just doing what I wanted to do. And he said, are you interested in coming back into the business? And I was like, oh, good. Nope, no thanks. Yeah, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I knew when I was going to college, I knew he had a really interesting job. I knew he traveled a lot. He did leadership things, and I knew our business was interesting. So I knew I liked that type of work. And so that's what I was working towards. And he kind of just kept asking me, but like gently and like, this is the kind of stuff we're doing. And this is kind of stuff we're working on. And finally I said, what would I even do? Like, what would I even do at the company? I sort of wasn't paying attention as you do when you're in college and young. And our business had doubled in size over that time. And I didn't realize it. So I started asking more questions and realizing, wow, this business is a little different than what I remember. This isn't just like the sleepy family business that I recall.
Yeah.
And so I started realizing that this could be kind of interesting. And so I came into the business. We had just acquired a small business in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and my first role was going to be to help integrate that business into ours, which was kind of similar to some of the projects I was doing in consulting.
I was going to say, sounds like a consulting career path to me. That's awesome.
Exactly. I was doing it in kind of a global scale, which was really different, but it was cool to say, well, I can take some of those skills that I had been doing and bring them to our family. And so, and then I had a path. My cousin-in-law is our CFO, and he sat down with us really early on and said, this is what we need to find a way for you guys to really really become experts in this industry so that you have a lot of credibility here. And you need to learn all the divisions of our business. You need to take leadership roles, and you need to really, again, be credible here. So we created paths and a strategy and a plan to be able to do that. So we start working through this path. And then over time, he got even more diligent about who's going to do what when and how are we going to create that. And on the sideline, he created an emergency succession plan. What if somebody gets hit by a bus? Like, what if I get hit by a bus? What happens? So on and so forth. So we're working through this plan. Fast forward a couple of years, and I'm about 4 months pregnant with the twins, where I just found out I was pregnant with the twins. I sat down with him. We kind of had his retirement plan, and he said, I'll work a couple more years until the twins go to grade school, and mapped all this out. He has a stroke. So he's fine. He's okay, but he's no longer really able to run the day-to-day operations of the business. Thank God for his passion for succession planning.
Yes.
We had that emergency plan. I sat at his dining room table for about a month, and I just worked that emergency plan. I had who to call, when to call them, the customers, the vendors, the employee outreach. We had a board meeting that night. We knew exactly who was going to do what when. It was incredible.
Oh my
The
gosh,
gift
amazing.
that was to be able to just work that plan.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that. I mean, it was a lot of work. It was obviously very emotional and very difficult, and a whole lot of stuff had to happen, and a whole lot of things went on. But that's how I found myself in this seat. But I found myself ready to be here because of all of the work he had done to get me here.
Oh my gosh.
And so, so we kind of moved on from there. And there's been a lot of, I really did have to fast forward what I'd be doing when. I had just agreed to be the president of our industry organization as well, thinking that I would do that before my father retired and he could help support and run the business. So I was doing that as well. I decided to continue to do that because it just seemed like I'll do it while my kids are young. They can travel with me. I won't be missing stuff while they're in school. So I became our youngest industry president ever. I was our second female, but our youngest. And so that was really fun. I learned a ton. I honed my public speaking skills, which was a great benefit there. Met a ton of people, kind of got that under my wing. And now I can do other things in the industry, participate in other ways. And my kids got to travel with me a whole bunch, which that was something I know you probably asked me about it, but I'll just jump right to it. But that balance question.
Yep.
You guys said you hate that word. I agree. We talk about blend. Yeah.
Yes.
There is no balance. There's only blend.
Blend. See, we're going to get so many new. I love the framing and the branding on it. That's amazing.
Because our guest that was a doctor would use integration, right, Liz? So integration, blend, these are so good.
They're so good.
Yes. So when people ask me about it, that's how I talk about it. It's like I can't pick it up and put it down. And it was a hard thing because being in a male-dominated industry, I got some feedback early on, like being a mom should that be your identity? Should that be all of what you do? During COVID, we formed a task force, and I ended up kind of in the seat of being our spokesperson. And at the time, Francis wasn't even one yet. And so, like, I was a full mom brain, like the Sesame Street tools that they were coming out with, like how to talk to your kid about this. And I was thinking, this is really valuable for me. Surely other people in our organization can use this. And even if they're not a parent, they're probably a grandparent or a neighbor or a friend of someone who needs to figure out how to navigate this. So I started sharing out a lot of tools and telling funny stories about what Francis had done that day, and like us like dancing to concerts in front of the TV and just like silly stories like that. And I was just sharing them out and doing videos, and that helped me find my voice within our organization. And I just kind of continued doing that. And when I was our industry president, I would end every speech with a funny Francis story. And she just kind of became part of my speaking. And I would share that with her. And she became really proud of being part of the stories. And she got to hear some of my speaking, and she would wait for her story and be like, which one are you going to tell about me today, Mom? And she became really proud of it. So it was really kind of fun and really, again, became part of my voice. And that was a really great place for me to find some blend, to talk about them be all part of that. And then in being able to bring them along with me is hard at first. And I've been extraordinarily lucky to have the tools and resources to be able to do that. Not everyone might have that available to them. And it's not like it just like landed. I had to figure it out and create it a little bit, but I have had some opportunity to be able to do that, and I've just taken advantage of it, and it's been fantastic. It's been awesome to hear the feedback too. As much as I kind of heard, I don't know, you're really leaning into this mom thing a lot. I also heard, it's really nice to hear you talk about that. We don't talk about that a lot. It's really nice to hear another mom say that. It made me feel a little better that I'm a mom too, and I'm working through this stuff too. Or someone say, I don't talk about my kids a lot. Now I do. And I've started to see people bring their kids to more meetings, even in our industry things. It's kind of neat, just kind of people quietly all of a sudden showing up saying, I brought my kids to this one too. It's like, awesome. This is really
That's
cool.
amazing.
Just quietly, just an opening and an acceptability of that maybe. And I don't know if it's because of me, because I did it, or if it's just becoming a more acceptable thing in the world. But
I feel like you're creating space for people to like recognize that that's okay. And that is really, really cool. I love that.
I hope so.
How much of the I'm so curious. I love that you have all girls because it's so cool that they're getting to see you do all of this amazing work. Is it cool for you that this is also like your family business and like bringing them along for it is like they are a part of it too, just as much as you are? I'm curious about that aspect.
Absolutely. And they know it's the family business.
Yeah.
One of my funny stories about Francis, like we talk about this is our family's business, and Grandpa was in charge of the business, and our kitchen and bath stores. We've got a retail portion of our business, and it's named after my grandfather. And one of the twins is Georgia, named after him, and she goes by Gigi. And so I take her picture in front of the sign, and she knows that she's named after him. He's passed away, so she's never met him, but that's like her little connection, and they know that. And so Francis one day is sitting here, and she goes, "Mom, when you're done with the business, can I have it?" Like,
oh my gosh.
Yes, Francis, if you're ready for it, it might be your turn. But just their little brains are already thinking about that. Like, that's so cool that they're already like, yeah, I think I might be, I could be next for this. But we started
a number so in large part because you're integrating them so early, which is so cool. It's not like there's this separation between like this is my job and this is my family. It's like a really, I think that piece of it is so unique. I love that.
A smooth line. Yeah, we have we started these family meetings a couple of years ago, and they're part family reunion, part business update, part shareholder thing, and they're really cool. And part of the reason our family business works so well is that our family has accepted and agreed to this very formal governance structure and is really, really good about creating and adhering to this structure, and it's just done really well. Everybody, it's not just me or somebody creating this, it's the whole group. And so we have these meetings, and I've started bringing them to them when they were little babies. And my parents were kind of like, well, they're little babies, why are they here? I'm sure that my sisters are like, I'm not bringing my kids, I don't know. But I thought about it, and I know that they won't remember it, but they'll be able to know they were here. Like, I will say, you've been coming to this since you were a little baby. And they'll be 15 and they'll be like, yeah, I've been here since I was a baby. Yeah, it's just something I do. I'm just part of this. And maybe that's selfish mom thing, but like to me, it was important. And so I hope by default, I've made it important to them.
Yeah.
I am curious I'm so amazed that you've been able to blend like this. Do you feel like it's kind of just been like your gut that feels right? Or do you have people that you're looking to that have also done like a really good job with it? Because when you were talking, I immediately was going to be like, are you getting pushback? Because I just feel like I'm not even in the corporate world, but I feel like we just get pushback, when we try to blend like that. So is this just kind of like your gut tuition of like, no, this feels right, this is how I want to lead? Or maybe an and question, are you also seeing other women that that are also moms at your level doing this with success?
It's kind of my gut. And I think I'm also the beneficiary of the moment. COVID sort of changed the conversation. This moment in time is just the whole conversation's changing. For most other of my contemporaries in roles like mine have children at a much different stage of life. Like most other women in this role have college-age children. So they didn't have the luxury of being in the time and space where this was even a choice. 20 years ago, nobody would have been talking like this or about this.
Right. No.
So I kind of feel like I have this like luxurious moment to be able to do this, which I recognize like this is unique.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of embracing it, and I feel, again, like the beneficiary of it.
Yeah. So inspiring.
Thank you.
I'm so curious because I always like to be honest. Like, this is what the question I'm asking is because I personally struggle with it. But I'm curious, you lead a very large organization. You carry the weight of a lot of responsibility at work. Like, how do you go about whether it's compartmentalizing or like leaving work at work or not leaving work at work? I'm just curious, like, what do those lines look like in terms of even just like mental load, whether it's mental load of being a mom, mental load of being a CEO, a manager, whatever the case may be. I'm curious, like, do you struggle with that at all? Or is that something that you've like figured out an easy, like cut and dry way to think about it?
It's a very good question. And honestly, it's something I'm struggling with in this moment. And it like so many things, it ebbs and flows, right?
Yeah.
And it depends what's going on in each of those moments because there's two sides of every coin. So you think about like, oh, blending, it's awesome. Like, this is so great. I get to have my family at these meetings. But then you're constantly code switching. Like, I'm having to go to this big meeting and sometimes even speak in front of hundreds of people. And then, oh, yeah, by the way, don't get chocolate on my skirt when I come back and check on you. And then you scream because I have to go back to the meeting and I feel all this terrible mom guilt because I have to leave you with a babysitter and I really just want to stay and go to the beach with you. I'm so sorry. So it's like this constant like pull. So that's the downside of the blending.
Right.
Like,
right.
It's not all sunshine and rainbows. You're kind of in this constant push and pull.
Yeah.
So right now I have a couple big projects going on. So I'm feeling like over the holiday break, I really try to shut down. I really try to say, no, this is like these last 2 weeks of the year, I am just gonna, and my team does, and our business slows down. So it's a good time. Everybody tries to just take a break.
Yeah.
But we had this one really big project. We had to kind of keep rolling the boulder. And we kind of knew that. So that felt good. I was able to kind of keep doing that. I try to, and my husband is good at reminding me about this because I slip sometimes. He's like, if you need to write an email or you need to do a text, like go in the other room. Like, don't just sit here and do it because they get like, mom, 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 mom.
Yeah.
And I forget. Like, I'm like, oh, I'll do this quick text, and I forget. But sometimes that's really hard. I mean, one of the most unexpected things for me in this role is I'm responsible for 750 families. Like, one day I woke up and I was like, holy cow. Like, I didn't realize
that's a responsibility. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Yes.
And that's just the direct families of
Right.
the people we employ. That's not the families of our customers who rely on us to supply product to them every day, or the vendors and the manufacturers who rely on us to buy product reliably from them every day. And so it's just that part of it is like, wow. And I realized that when I had a realization, obviously we don't print paychecks anymore, but when I had to go to the bank to sign that my name would be on the paychecks, I'm like, my name? Oh my God. That's a big deal.
That's so tangible.
Isn't it? It's like these little
Wow.
things that happen when you just these little tiny things that are triggers of responsibility. But then there's those moments, I'm sure every mom has them, where there's some days I look in the mirror, I'm like, can't believe I'm responsible for these little people. You know, it's that same moment of responsibility. I'm not old enough to do that.
Yes.
Every once in a while, but it's such a great responsibility. I'm grateful to have both of those responsibilities. I work really, really hard. Excuse me, it's my why. It's why I get up every day, because 750 people rely on me, and I'm grateful they do, and I'm going to work as hard as I can to not disappoint them, and I'm going to work as hard as I can not to disappoint those 3 little people too.
I love the idea of push and pull. I think that's like it's a really great descriptor, because I think sometimes it's really easy and sometimes it's not, and that's okay. So,
Yep.
I also love that gentle reminder from your husband, because I'm on the opposite of that. And that is like amazing, because I have to ask my husband when he's on his phone. I have to be like, are you working? Are you on ESPN? Are you on Twitter? Like, what's happening? Because I'm not sure. But if you're working, like, you're lost, you're gone. And so I love that. Like, it's not that I don't mind that you're working, but yeah, to not always see daddy working.
Yeah.
That's like an interesting, I love that he kind of says that, because it's so much easier. Because even when I'm on the phone, like, I have to call the doctor, all the girls need me. It's magic. It's like a magnet. So I can't imagine in your position. It's just an email and it's just a text, but it feels so much bigger. So I'm going to take that from your husband to be like, hey, Kyle, go in the room for 5 minutes and then report back when you're like ready and able. That's amazing.
Yeah. My mom had a really good one for me. She stayed at home with us. And thinking back, I'm like, oh my God, my dad did that. the other day I had to do a call. I was like, okay, guys, I've got to go run do a call. I'll be right back. And they're like, oh, Mom, don't go. And she's like, why'd you just tell them? Just go. Like, they'll never notice. I'm like, brilliant, Mom.
That
So I stopped
is
saying I've got to
brilliant.
go. I just walked away and they didn't
Uh-huh.
even notice. And so now I just
Didn't even notice.
disappear.
yeah.
Thank you, Mom.
The calls,
Yeah.
that Sam and I talk about this all the time. The calls are my kids are so aware of it. Like they'll just be
So
like,
aware.
do you have calls today? I'm like, well,
I know.
it's a work
Isn't that
day. So like
crazy?
the answer is going to be yes. But like, it's funny that they're just so attuned to it now that that's, just a
How we
normal part
work.
of their vocabulary. Yeah.
And also, I don't
Yeah.
even know why we think we need to tell them now that you just said that. That's
Right.
interesting.
Yeah.
Like, okay, mommy needs, I don't know. That's interesting. Why we don't
Why
need
are we
to tell
telling?
them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm curious. I mean, we've talked about this, how young of a CEO you are. Like, you are where I aspire to be one day. I'm hoping to be on that track. But I'm curious, like,
Yeah.
when you're at the top of your game at this
Mhm.
age, like, how do you think about growth? Like, what does that look like? Do aspirations change? How do you reframe that?
There's kind of always more to be done, always more
Yeah.
growth to be had. I this morning was watching another awesome mom CEO speak at a breakfast, and it was so fun. She's expecting her fourth, and she's bopping around the stage talking about taking over from her dad and the growth of their global business over the course of 10 years, more than doubling in size. And I'm watching her talk about their strategy. I'm thinking, I gotta have lunch with her again. I want to hear about how they did that. That's the kind of, again, like what gets me out of bed in the morning and striving for growth for all of the people I'm responsible for, and saying, gosh, we could have even more people that are part of this fun
Yeah.
path and this growth, and we could bring even more people on board. And they've had a really cool, awesome M&A growth strategy, and it's part of our strategy and how we're going to go
Cool.
out there and chase more opportunities out there. So I think it's a little bit part of the game and part of like what's exciting and all the things that we have ahead.
Yeah.
So that's exciting for me. I think there's just so much more out there that we can do, and I think even personally, there's just even more to learn. I'm a pretty naturally curious person. I've been blessed with that. I'm lucky to have that gene. As I was thinking about this, I always thinking about when I'm watching like Disney movies with my girls and things, all the like, what can I take away from this? And I was thinking this morning about the Sleeping Beauty one where the fairies give them the gifts. And I'm like, oh, what gift would I have been given by the fairies? I'm like, I think it's like curiosity and discovery and all the things like I want to,
Love
that's
that.
the little gift the fairies would have given me. So I feel like
That's
I'm a
amazing.
lifelong learner. Like I want to learn more. And so I feel like there's more of that I
Yeah.
have ahead of me, ways that I can continue to learn about business, learn about other industries, and learn about all those kinds of things. And honestly, I think and I hope that I'll continue to grow in my career in a way that will allow me to participate in my girls' lives in ways too, that maybe if I was still building my career, I wouldn't be able to. I look at them and I'm like, how do I build these kind, curious, ambitious women? And what can I instill in them? The other night they're like running laps around the couch in the family room, and Frances decides she's going to be the coach, and she's standing on the fireplace, and the twins for whatever reason are listening to her, and they're like running laps, and she's like, go, go, go,
Oh
you
my
can do
gosh.
this. And they're like working.
Oh.
And so I was
Yes.
like, okay, Mom, tomorrow you're going to race them because I have worked them hard. They are ready to race you.
Oh my
Like,
God.
oh my gosh.
You're already
But
instilling it. You're
I
doing
know, I'm
it.
like, yes, this is
Totally.
all the things. You guys are going to
Totally.
work hard. You're going to be ambitious. You're going to like get out there and kill it.
That
Are
is like the
hilarious.
quadrillion-dollar questions. If you ever find the exact answer for it, come back on the pod. We'll tell everyone. Sam and I want to know too.
Awesome. It's hilarious.
Just a quick little anecdote to that. I was with Lucy this past weekend, and her son, I'm going to say this about you, Lucy, because it's the cutest thing I've ever heard. Her son wanted her to go bounce in the bounce house, and she walked down, and he was like, and if I missed the quote, correct me, Lucy, I think he said something like, oh, guys, here comes my super mom, right?
Yeah.
Like
That's what he
just this
said.
out
It's
of
amazing.
nowhere. Yeah.
It's
It's just
amazing.
those little
So
things.
sweet. And then I blew
I
out my
love that.
knee bouncing in that bounce house. So this is late 30s. We can't be doing that
Yeah.
anymore.
We always talk about like sibling birth order.
Mm.
So I have like no idea.
Fascinated.
Fascinated.
So
Okay, so you
fascinated.
are.
Fascinated.
We're like, especially I have all girls, so like it just feels like I don't like sometimes that I feel like my girls fit the stereotype. Like almost to a T. And I don't want I don't know, because I want them to obviously just be who they are. But my firstborn is very much like that. I wonder.
Coach.
Yes. Oh, boss.
Director,
Boss.
future
Boss.
CEO.
Me.
Yeah. Type A.
Are
we
you?
love it.
Yeah.
I'm the
We
oldest.
love her. Like, I'm actually away right now for 24 hours. I'm in Atlanta, and my mom now is fully aware that like my older daughter will keep her in line. Like nothing will go wrong because my older daughter. But do you have siblings? I don't know.
I'm the oldest
Okay.
of 4.
You're the oldest of 4. Okay. So it's so interesting. So then do you see with twins, the birth order is that, and I know it's not super relevant, but I'm just curious, like, is it really not
that's
like
a
a 1,
great
2,
question.
3, or is it like just 1, 2?
I haven't quite figured it out, but they have
Okay.
some tendencies of it. So Frances has like a little bit of only child to her
Okay.
because she's like the old, but a little bit of oldest. And then even the twins, they're like a minute apart or something. But and what's crazy is so when you have twins, there's baby A and baby B, and they stay that way forever. Like the doctor assigns, like this is baby A and this is baby B, and baby A is closest to the exit, as they say. And so, is that hilarious?
Perfect.
That's fun.
And that stays it. So the doctor's like, oh my gosh, baby B's coming first. Like this is a surprise and this has never happened. So then Jeff's standing there and he's like, so what's her name? Is she baby B or baby A? I'm like, no, like their names are staying the same because I'm like, to me, like them being with me, like this is this is Johanna and this is Georgia. Like they lived like that.
Yeah.
So she was supposed to be the youngest, but now she's the middle. And so I feel like she's got middle child tendencies and Georgia has youngest child. It's so confusing.
Gosh,
I've been trying to like
funny.
sort these last 4 years. So ask me again in like 4 more years.
Okay, we will. We're so fascinated by it. We're like always talking about it. And you're the oldest of 4, which is, do you find that with your siblings, like a little bit of the, yeah.
Absolutely. And so there's 3 girls and a boy. And my little brother is both like little youngest child and only child because he's the only boy. So he's got this like, yes.
Oh my gosh. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the questions we love to ask every guest is just like a combination of like, what are your systems that like make your life work every week? And what are like the non-negotiables for you personally to like make that system work?
Yeah. So my schedule is pretty unpredictable in so many ways. I might be here, there, one place, and it looks different all the time, which I thrive on. I love that unpredictability. But from a non-negotiable standpoint, I try really, really hard not to be gone more than 2 nights in a row. Because I think if I can create a thread of stability for my family, it's that it's just the predictability that I will be there at least some of the week, and I can control my schedule enough that I can do that. And then it means coming late to meetings. It means leaving early for meetings. My team knows that I'm making that choice. They know it's a period of time. They know my girls, and I joke with them. You guys, you might not see me a lot right now, but when I've got 3 teenage girls in the house, I will be calling you saying, where are we golfing this weekend? Where are we going to dinner tomorrow night? You will not be able to get rid of me. And they laugh. And so they know that it's a season of life and they know they can get a hold of me. They know on the weekend, I tend to check my emails in the morning and the evening. If they need something, they can text me anytime and they can find me. So we have a really good system at work of how they can get a hold of me. My husband knows he can text me anytime if they need me. So we have a good communication system. My calendar is like, I wouldn't live without my calendar being like perfect. And my assistant, Jessie, is like my life partner and does everything.
She is so responsive. I mean,
she's amazing.
Amazing. Yes.
Lost without her. My children love her. When you think about balance and when you think about like ebb and flow, she blends all of the things. She's like, I'm going to run over and help with the girls for an hour. I'm going to go do this. Do you need lunch? She's got it all. It's fantastic.
Amazing.
She's amazing.
I love that. I'm glad that you said the 2-night thing because Sam always gets on me because I'm like, I can't imagine I do not like traveling for work longer than 2 nights, and like I'll fly in at midnight if that means I can be there in the morning when the kids get up or whatever. And Sam's always like, why? She's like, why are you not? Yeah, take the night. No. Take the flight in the morning. What's the problem? And I feel the same way. So it's validating to hear that someone feels that way too. But
do you, I know your kids are getting older, so it's probably going to get harder, but if you were to be gone longer, is that when you try to take them just to kind of blend better? But if you're, That's
Yeah,
probably
and
helpful.
honestly, the other thing, I mean, Jeff's doing solo duty too. Sam, I'm
Right.
sure you feel that a bit too. And so, I mean, he's also doing the heroics at home, and so he's a
Yeah.
big part of being the schedule and doing all. He's a professor, so I mean, he's got his schedule's much more predictable. He doesn't
Yeah.
really travel for work, but that doesn't mean he's just not working.
Right.
He's got to be on
Right.
campus, and he's got to be grading papers and putting together a syllabus and
Yeah.
putting together a class, and so he's certainly doing things, but then he's also making 3 lunches and putting together snacks and doing bedtime. So it's also balancing all of that
Yeah.
too, of course, for him. We don't have family that lives very close. His parents are retired. They're about 3.5 hours away, so they can come and help. If I'm gone for more than 2 nights, we do. We have the luxury of having our parents come and help
Yeah.
and be able to stay with us. But
Yeah.
The heroics at home. Sam, I'm going to get that needle pointed for you.
The
That's what it
heroics
is.
at home. I think I
True,
need
it
to meet
is.
Katie's husband.
It's heroics at home. It
I
truly
have
is.
one last question just to kind of round it out. Because when you were coming on, it almost made me think of why we even started this podcast because of where you are in your career. And I don't know if you know the story, but there was a random person on TikTok that was like, I don't even have kids, but I love my career. Like, how in the world are you guys doing it? And I sent it to Lucy, and she was like, tell her to be scared, or like, it's not easy. And so I just was wondering if you had like 1 or 2 pieces of advice of anybody that listens, is a mom, new mom, wants to be a mom, but has the aspirations of you and Lucy, of just like a little bit that they could just be like, hold on. Or maybe what would be like 1 or 2 pieces of advice that maybe they could take with them?
Oh, it's so good. The one piece of advice I give like women in any stage of their career, whether you're a mom or not a mom, is find an advocate, be an advocate. So find somebody whether it's at work or whether it's just somebody in your circle, whether it's a friend of a parent, a neighbor, somebody who better at work. I learned this in consulting. When the partners are sitting around deciding how to staff the next project, find somebody who's going to say, hey, I want Katie on my project because she works really hard and I can't do this without her. I really want her on my project. And somebody else goes, I want her. I want her on my project. But find that one person who's going to be your advocate. And when times are down and cuts are being made, somebody who stands up for you and goes, we can't do it without her. She's got to stay. So find that person who's going to be your advocate no matter what.
Yeah.
And then as you move along in your career, return the favor. Be an advocate. And you may forget. You may forget. You may be like, oh, I'm not in that stage in my career yet. But even little things that can go such a long way. I was invited to seats at tables that I didn't have any business being at really early, and it served me so well that I try to do that for other people. I try to invite people, even if they have nothing to say at the meeting, just being in the room, the learning experience that they get, and the confidence it builds in their career for the future. Me being able to sit in some rooms and listen, by the time I got to the point where I had a speaking role in those meetings, I'd already been in the room a couple of times. And I knew what to say. I knew how those conversations went. And it went such a long way to, again, deliver the confidence for me to be able to credibly deliver a message. It was huge.
That's amazing.
So be an advocate.
So good.
And then from a mom's standpoint, as a twin mom, I got really serious about being really crazy about a schedule. And I was not like a crazy organized person to begin with, but I started doing crazy person things. Like I did not come downstairs without like being fully clothed with makeup on because I did not have time to come downstairs in pajamas and go back upstairs to get ready for the day. Do everything once. So I just got really strict about things like that I normally would not have thought twice about. So like just being stricter with your time because your time, you don't have time. And so just how you're spending it becomes really important. And so, and things, just little tiny things like don't touch things twice. Those kinds of little tiny things can go a really long way when you're trying to do work and baby and life.
Yeah.
Great advice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, the last thing that we have, and I know we've already talked about it, is if you have a favorite product in 2026 that you're loving, we'd love to hear it because this has been one of our favorite things.
I do. And I have 2. But before I say that, can I tell you one story really fast from a previous podcast of yours?
Yes.
So I was listening to, I think it was your last one, your Year of the Horse.
How are you feeling?
Changed my year.
Isn't it the best?
It has become my like thing. Honestly, we have like an all hands kickoff for the quarter. And I'm like, guys, it is our year of the horse. I told my COO the other day, and he's like, "Really, Katie, year of the horse?" I'm like, "No, Scott. Honestly, this is the thing. This is our year of the horse. We're gonna start doing crazy things. We're gonna make bold moves. It's about innovation. Our color is red."
Oh, we're like so into it. Sam and I have talked about it multiple times because we're just
action over comfort.
Yeah. And even just you talking about it again gets you fired up for some reason. You're just like, it's gonna happen. This is the horse.
This is the horse.
And it's the fire horse, which is like more specific and even more exciting. So I love it.
I've told a couple people about it, and I feel like no one else is really as into it as the three of us. So I felt like I had to bring it back up because this was a safe space.
This is a very safe space to get amped about the fire horse.
I had to bring up the fire horse because I couldn't do this without doing it.
So good.
Back to my favorite products. I actually have two, if you don't mind.
Yes, please.
One of them is I'm trying to, part of our work is design and interior design. So I live in this house with basically 3 toddlers, and I'm trying desperately to like rein in the mountains of stuffed animals and the half-colored pictures of Disney princesses torn out of color books everywhere, all those things. So I'm trying to decorate the twins' room, and I have a phenomenal friend who is an entrepreneur, started her own wallpaper company called Chasing Paper, and I've just ordered amazing wallpaper for the twins' bedroom that is going up in a couple of weeks that will like transform their room. It's like the next step into like reigning control of their room. But she's got 2 little girls that are phenomenal friends with my girls, and it's another really cool mom company. So Chasing Paper.
Perfect.
And
I literally was just working on Piper's room this morning at 5 a.m. because we've graduated to the big girl bed, but all we have is the big girl bed. So it's just the saddest room to walk into. So I'm going to look at that. I love it.
Look at it. We just ordered the paper yesterday. So it took me like so long to decide what to do. So I'm super excited about that. The second one is another really cool thing. So it's an Olympic year, and cool little connection. My little brother is actually the director of high performance for the U.S. ski team. And crazy little like thing about my family. So I have a cool, interesting job. I have the least cool, interesting job of my family. Him and my brother-in-law. I was trying to think back between him and my brother-in-law. I think they've probably been to like 8 of the last Winter Olympics between them.
So
coaching the U.S. ski team. So from a favorite product standpoint, J. Crew just dropped a collaboration yesterday with the U.S. ski team, and it does go to support the athletes. Unfortunately, a ton of the stuff sold out, like in hours. I just went to buy some last night, but there is still product available, and it's super cool stuff from J. Crew. You guys seemed like J. Crew friends, so
we also love to ski. So
yes, awesome.
Yeah, we love both of those things.
So it's a really cool collaboration with U.S. skiing. So I bought one. Some of the sweaters are still available. It was my second choice sweater, but I still got one.
You still got it.
But
I'm sure some of it will come back in stock. There's no way they can just make it that hard to know.
I don't know. So those are my 2 cool
I love it.
I'm
those
loving
are
right
so
now. I can't wait
fun.
to wear my sweater to watch the Olympics in a couple of weeks.
Go USA. Well, Katie, thank you so much. This has been such a blast. We so appreciate your time. We know you're so busy, but wishing you the best year of the horse and all the luck in the world.
We got this. Bold moves. Yes. Thank you guys. It was really fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.